Welcome here to St. Francis High School tonight, where we have a good WCAL League action for you with the St. Francis Lancers coming in at 14-2 overall, 6-0 in league play. Host Archbishop Mitty Monarchs from San Jose, who've made the trek north here to Mountain View with Red Anderson. I'm Andrew Fury. Monarchs come in at 4-2 conference play, so this is really a huge game for both teams.
So we watched St. Francis play on KMVT about a week or so ago, and they looked really, really good. So what are you looking for tonight?
Well, I just think St. Francis is going to use a lot of that same speed. They're not the biggest team in the world, so they're going to use speed. And then Mitty's going to have to try to slow them down, either with quick timeouts if they start getting on a run, or just try to slow the tempo of the game.
Mitty's a much better opponent, though. That last game was a blowout and was a blowout early. One thing to note, Peter Hewitt was phenomenal last game. I just can't say enough about him. Great inside presence. I believe he's going to UC Davis next year.
He's going to UC Davis. We'll play Division I basketball there for Jim Less, former Bradley head coach. And so we're about ready to start here. A big game. This is the difference between a one-game difference between these two teams in the league and a three-game difference. St. Francis comes in 6-0 league play, winners of 10 of their last 11, while Mitty comes in winners of 7 straight. Both teams playing excellent basketball. Will be Logan Johnson, Peter Hewitt, Noah Stapes, Darius Thomas, and Giuseppe Benedetti for the Lancers as they win the tip. We're underway here in Mountain View. Johnson swings it to Thomas. Thomas wants to reset. Gets it outside to Benedetti. Kicks it over to Logan Johnson. His pass fumbled by Thomas. Thomas between the legs against the 2-3 zone. Benedetti's pass nearly went out of bounds. Johnson inside to Hewitt. He pounds into the paint. Left-hand jump hook short. Johnson falls it up and in.
So they got the bucket, but that was not a good starting possession for the Lancers. There were several near turnovers. They did not handle the wing defense very well. They got lucky at the end. So give them credit for chasing down the rebound, but overall not a good start.
So here swung over to Michael Henry. Now outside is Scott. Scott will pull up to round it out. Benedetti had it poked out of bounds off of Mitty. And number 25, Mike Diaz, it will stay with the Lancers. Well, right here, you'll see Hewitt gets inside.
See, sloppy entry pass.
Yeah.
Right to the hands. And a good crash. Again, a good crash. They deserve that bucket. But overall, a little more focus needed from St. Francis.
Here's Hewitt, who hands off to Benedetti. On a screen, lobs it inside to Hewitt. Good catch, goes up, and gets fouled. That will be on Diaz's first. And the first team foul on the Monarchs.
That was a good roll. Mitty did what they're supposed to. They had the hedge defender came up and sort of briefly double-teamed Hewitt. What should have happened is the weak side help on the far blocks got a hedge over for a split second to cover up that gap on the roll. But he didn't, and so the gap was there, and that's all you need, really, is a split second.
Hewitt makes the first, and the second free throw is good as well. So he has 2 points, and the lead is 4-0 for the Lancers. Now a little three-quarter court pressure. Newman somehow gets into the front court and bounces along to Scott. Scott fumbled it and loses it. Steal for the Lancers. Back comes Stapes. Stapes crosses over into the paint, floats one up, and the dunk is home by Peter Hewitt. They put on the full court pressure. Newman trying to dribble himself in the front court, somehow gets it. St. Francis bench screaming for a 10-second call. Newman near the circle. Round of screen to the right. Now we'll drive baseline. Kick it out. A three for Wedlow is good for Elijah Wedlow, and they cut the lead in half. Don't look now. Here comes Thomas over a double team inside to Hewitt. His pass stolen by Scott.
Great help defense right there.
And that forced the turnover. Here Newman into the front court. Drives to the left, stops. Gets it out. An open three, or long two from Diaz is no good. Gets the ball back. Goes up, and no good, but he got fouled. It's on Noah Stapes' first.
Pretty good all-around play from Diaz on the hustle there. Chased his own shot, got the rebound, and went straight back up, too.
So Diaz earns himself 2 free throws because of that effort, and he makes the first. So that's the 6-4 St. Francis lead. Yeah, that's a great crossover. And the follow-up. I tell you, at least twice in every game has there been a highlight reel play by the Lancers offensively. They could certainly flash some leather. Second free throw, no good by Diaz. Lead at 2 for St. Francis. Logan Johnson dribbling against the 2, maybe 1-2-2 zone. Here's Benedetti, who drives to the paint, shovels it out to Thomas. Thomas dribbling, now gets it over to Stapes. Stapes backs it out. 6 on the shot clock. Takes about a 27-footer, and it's good.
Wow.
Wow, there's no defense for that. Here's Grigsby with it. Riley Grigsby, who doesn't handle a lot, gets it over to their point guard, Newman. Tim Kennedy, their head coach, calling out a play. Newman dribbling near the center circle. Bouncing it inside. Cross it over is Samuel Serra, and a traveling violation. Yeah, I mean, he's just backing up, low shot clock, so he had to fire.
Wow.
And, yeah, onions. There was absolutely no defense for that. I mean, you could say because there was a low shot clock, he should have crowded up on him a little more than he did, the defensive player, Wedlow, on that play. But still, you don't expect a guy in high school to pull up for a 27-footer and nail it. Here's Benedetti. As St. Francis, the ball tries to be back cut, intended for Curtis Witt, thrown out of bounds.
Miscommunication. He also Witt got tripped up along the baseline, kind of. Couldn't tell if he was ready for it or not.
There's inbound from Grigsby to Diaz. 4:15 left first quarter. It's 9-4 St. Francis. Newman into the front court. Newman about to get over to Grigsby. Gets it over to Serra. Outside Wedlow around a screen for 3. Back iron miss. Rebound to Thomas. The point guard will push. Thomas leaves it for Witt. The reverse layup is good. Excellent finish by Curtis Witt. Here's Serra. Attacks into the paint. His pass.
Easy pickoff.
And Thomas has been everywhere. Here into the front court. Lobs it to Benedetti. Touch pass. Stapes. Spins. Outside. Thomas a 3. Back iron miss. Rebound deflected to Newman. But a holding foul is called on the rebounding activity. They call the foul, I believe, on Michael Newman.
Yeah, St. Francis got away with one there. Not on the foul, but earlier, Stapes had a pretty blatant travel. I think the only way they didn't call is the ref just didn't see it.
Stapes a 3 out of the corner. No good. Rebound by Diaz. He pushes over to Serra. Tracks it down. Will spin. Gets it inside to Diaz. Power dribble. Spin. Up and in. Off glass. Good move by Mike Diaz.
Easy mismatch and good recognition. He felt the defender on his back, and he felt that he was smaller than him. He just went straight up.
There's Johnson on the attack. Scores 11-6, and he misses. Gets his own rebound. Missed that. Rebound deflected around to Diaz. And over here's Mitchell Newman. Newman into the front court. Stutters. Outside, here's Grigsby. Grigsby to Serra. Around the screen to his right. Outside Wedlow, another 3. Air ball, rebounded by Johnson. Johnson on the attack. No one cuts him off, and a laid in. Quick timeout called by the Monarchs. Tim Kennedy is not happy.
Again, good recognition from Johnson. You see a lane, you take it right away, and especially when you get a full head of steam like that coming down the court. See, right there, there's no one in front of him, and there's almost a 100% chance he's going to convert that.
So, This has turned into a full timeout. As you look now at the WCal standings, you see St. Francis still unblemished in league play at 6-0, but then Junipero Serra right behind them at 5-1 with Mitty and St. Ignatius, a team that they just beat last Tuesday, each at 4-2.
Yeah, this is a key game, right? St. Francis wins, they just open up their lead. Mitty wins, and then, you know, we've got a couple of one-loss teams at the top of the league, and it's a whole different ballgame. I do want to talk about Newman from Mitty. That's the second or third time that he's played what I call outsides defense. He plays way bigger than he looks. He's a real small guy. He's a point guard. He's quick and he handles, but size-wise, he's at a disadvantage. There was a time early on, one play where he held Hewitt down low, and he forced a turnover. And then a couple times as well, he just plays bigger than he looks on the court, and that's really impressive.
Yeah, he's actually listed at 5'8", 155 pounds.
In shoes, maybe.
Yeah, on a couple of New York City phone books, he's 5'8", but he certainly plays a lot bigger than that, and we have a 5-second violation. Archbishop Mitty couldn't get the ball in. And that's Grigsby, who is the inbounder. Also checking in for the first time is Austin Kaus for Mitty, number 12. Witt inbounds and gets it back off of the feed from Adzic. Step back, jumper is off the rim, no good. Rebounded inside by Johnson, who's a great offensive rebounder. Here's Johnson inside to Witt, posting up. Witt pounding the dribble, good spin move, cut off. Great no-look feed to Adzic, who lays it in. That was special. Back comes the Monarchs. In the front court, here's Koss. Koss, high post, here's Grigsby. He'll turn face, take the foul line jumper, and rattles home.
That's a really impressive shot. It was off balance. He had very little time to locate the rim, and already he was in midair. Once he got in midair, he had a hand in his face and a hand in front of the ball.
Now Johnson, who traveled on the drive. So Monarchs back with the basketball, down by 7. Yeah, this is a special pass. No look. Move right where Adzic was going to be. Here's an inbound pass from newly checked in Matt Hicks. And Hicks gets it into Serra. He'll get it over to Kaus. And he'll pound the dribble near the logo. Bouncing into Serra, gets bumped. Serra around the screen to his right. Outside Grigsby. Kaus. Kaus pounding the dribble outside to Grigsby. Now swung over Serra, pump fakes. Drives, kicks out, open three. Is off the front rim, no good by Michael Scott. Rebounded inside, comes to Mahanovic. Here's Witt. Witt crossing over around the screen to his left. Hands off. Now it's swung around. Outside, the ball deflected and stolen. Here comes Serra. Serra pounding the dribble. Cross it over, trying to dribble through 3 people, taken away by Johnson. Johnson all the way will lay it in. 43 seconds left opening quarter. Lancers opened up a 17-8 lead. And now near steal by Johnson. Getting back his cause, bounce pass to Serra. Serra drives baseline, floats one off, gets it blocked out of bounds by Adzic with 23 on the shot clock. And yeah, great pickpocket by Johnson, and not enough transition defense from the Monarchs.
So one thing I've noticed about Mitty, they're getting, so St. Francis is switching the bigs. So they're switching screens between 4 and 5 and sometimes 3, and they're switching screens between 1, 2, and 3, which means that there's a lot of mismatches down low. So when that 3-4 or 3-5 screen happens, it's Mitty's big on, say, St. Francis's 3 guard, right? And that's a size mismatch, and Mitty either is not seeing it or they just can't beat the wing defense to get the ball inside.
So that last foul was called on number 2, Gabe Adzic for St. Francis after Michael Scott missed the corner 3. And here's Kaus with it for the Monarchs. 17 seconds to go, shot clock turned off. Scott bounces back. Now Peterson inside here. Hicks working on the much smaller Adzic, goes up, scores it, and he got fouled. What a move by Matt Hicks. You see Peterson, who just checked in for the first time, gets it into Hicks. And Gabe Adzich couldn't cover him.
See, that's exactly what I was talking about. Hicks saw the mismatch, and then it's really only a matter of time. And if you keep doing that, you'll wear down the defense.
So 7.4 seconds left in the quarter. Hicks misses the free throw. Here comes Witt with their team leading by 7. He pulls up for a deep three, around it out, rebounded by Kaus. And the first quarter comes to the end.
Pretty good first quarter, a lot of fun to watch.
Certainly, we'll be back with second quarter action in a moment. It's the Lancers 17, Monarchs 10. Welcome back here to St. Francis High School, ready to start the second quarter with the Lancers in front 17-10. Archbishop Mitty will have the first possession of the second quarter. It will be Kaus out there with Scott, Peterson, Hicks, and Diaz for the Monarchs, wearing the road black uniforms. Scott left wing will dribble and spin it out to Peterson, the senior. High post to Hicks. Swung around to Kaus, right wing. Outside Peterson. 7:40 left. Steps back. And he'll get it high post to Diaz. We have a whistle and a traveling violation.
Yeah, see, the reason that happened is because what Mitty was trying to do was get Hicks on the block against Hewitt the whole first part of the possession, but they couldn't get there, so they tried to swing it around to the middle, and they still couldn't get him in. And that's the difference that having Hewitt and Stapes back in the game guarding the block makes.
Witt gets it over to Stapes for an off-bounce through, way short, rebounded by Diaz. Here come the Monarchs in this highly competitive first 9 minutes. Scott, left wing, will bounce it into Diaz, and a hold is called on Noah Stapes. That will be his second foul.
Yeah, I know they make that call a lot for the big guys, or the big defenders on the block, is that sort of like reach around hold, but I don't know, I never liked it. I thought it was ticky-tack, and I don't think it really impedes the offensive player that much.
There's a spin by Diaz, and he'll lay it in. That was a good move against Peter Hewitt, 17-12. Thomas, jab step into the paint, a brick, rebounded by Benedetti, and he saves it to Witt. Witt out there with Stapes, Hewitt, Benedetti, and Thomas. Witt wants to set something up, gets it to Hewitt, left wing. Hewitt outside to Benedetti. He's uncovered for three. Good! As he got knocked down. Could have very easily been a 4-point play. And a travel. Tim Kennedy can't believe it for the Monarchs, but Kaus shuffled the pivot feet. You see a good move, and that could have been called a foul and an opportunity for a 4-point play. Got to give the shooter a chance to land. And he barely did, if that. Here's Hewitt for the Lancers. Fakes the handoff, goes in on Hicks, lays one up off glass and in. And the Lancers have their first double-digit lead of the game. Here's Kaus into the front court. Now the Monarchs need a bucket. Gets it over to Peterson, left wing. Run the screen. Stops, outed by Thomas, gets it over to Diaz. Kaus, right wing. He'll cross over and float it inside to Hicks, who pump fakes and traveled. No, they're going to say before the travel, a 3-second violation on Hicks.
Yeah, I didn't see Hicks, but typically when they call 3 seconds, they really mean 5 or 6 seconds. They're generally pretty, they give you leeway.
Yeah, Hicks was certainly pitching his tent down low. Here's Johnson in the front court. Over to Hewitt. Hewitt, not really a threat to score from out there, but Thomas is. He stutters. Side to Hewitt. Hewitt will drive in on Diaz. The flop isn't called. Rebounded inside by Grigsby, who's recently checked in for the departed Hicks. Kaus in the front court. Pounding the dribble, guard by Thomas. Stutters, steps back, crosses over. What a move. In on the defender and lays it in. That was beautiful.
Very nice.
By Austin Kaus. Now stopping for a deep three is Witt, back iron miss. Rebounded inside by Scott, and he is fouled by Peter Hewitt. With 5:01 left, second quarter, it's 22-14. Yeah, a great crossover. He had Thomas fooled, and it's hard to get Thomas fooled, as now St. Francis calls a 30-second timeout, or was that?
So he beat 2 levels of defense there. The first was out on the wing. The second was coming flying into the basket. And I'm even more impressed by that second one. Granted, it wasn't like very fundamentally sound defense. The defender just came, flying in like LeBron, and hoping to get something lucky, right? And I think the sort of the body control to avoid that flying defender is really impressive. Plus, when you're coming in that fast in midair, it's easy to misjudge your fingertips when you're right at the basket, and just put a little too much extra power on the ball, and it bounces just off the front of the rim. So that body control and the touch in the finish is real impressive.
So after the 30-second timeout called by St. Francis, it will be Mitty basketball. 5:01 left, second quarter.
And something I'm trying to understand is why Mitty isn't taking advantage of their size at certain positions, right? Like with Hewitt guarding Diaz down there in the post, that's going to go in Hewitt's advantage.
Oh, what a pass! And Grigsby lays it in with the foul from Mike Diaz. A great delivery to Grigsby, who cut without the basketball.
I take it all back.
Well, just as you say something, they take advantage of that one of those mismatches. And a great cut by Grigsby, who cut without the basketball.
And he tried to throw it down. He had that look in his eyes. But the ball was tipped. Got lucky it went in, but good play. Real heads-up play.
Now Grigsby unable to convert the three-point play, rebounded by Witt. So a 6-point Lancer lead, approaching the midway point of the second quarter. Here's Johnson, pounding the dribble over to Thomas. Thomas crosses over and gets it outside to Witt. Witt over to Johnson. Johnson outside to Witt. Rips through, jab step, drive. Steps back, jumper is partially blocked. Benedetti had it and gets fouled. They're going to say it was on a shot, too. That was a little bit of a generous call.
Very generous.
Here's Will with the jab step, a great pull-up. It was definitely partially blocked, and I guess Benedetti felt the contact, so he tried to get up a shot. All in one motion. The free throw is no good.
Ball don't lie. That first free throw of the two, that'll tell you whether it was actually a foul or not.
Yeah, it always works that way. I think that last play was a foul. I'm just not sure he should have been rewarded with 2 free throws.
Yeah, I agree. Probably a foul. Not shooting, though.
Yeah. Benedetti does make the second, so he splits the pair. 23-16. Goss flips the dribble. Gets it into the front court. Goss pounding the dribble against Thomas. Thomas spins. Looking. Pounds it high post. Here's Diaz. Diaz hands it off to Wang, who's in for the first time, and he travels.
That's like their 4th or 5th traveling call, man.
Yeah, I mean, they're just killing themselves with turnovers, or else this game could be a lot closer than the 7-point lead. That was Marshall Meng, who's checked in for the first time that traveled. He's wearing number 3. Johnson gets it over to Benedetti. Left wing. Benedetti. High post, there's Way. Over to Johnson for an open 3. Short and rebounded by Peterson.
Now that's exactly the shot that Mitty wants them to take. 1 or 2 quick passes and a flat-footed 3. Low percentage shot. It's exactly what we try to force as a defender.
Here's Meng into the front court, and we have a foul called on St. Francis. Right now, Mike Motio is beside himself. Cannot figure out why Marshall Meng wasn't called for an offensive foul with the extended arm. And that is the 17th foul on St. Francis, a 1-1 for the Monarchs with 3:28 left second quarter. Mang bends the dribble, and it missed it, the front end. That's like missing 2 free throws. With the rebound. Whip pounding in, now switched off. Peterson is guarding him. Gets it out to Johnson. Johnson pounding the dribble. Cross it over, into the paint. Lost the ball, but a foul's called. And they're going to get Marshall Ming for that one.
That shouldn't be a foul call. Tell you why in a minute.
So good rip through by Johnson. And he gets rewarded with the foul call. And
so
2 free throws.
On second thought, looking at the replay, I see why they made a foul call. That said, the hand is part of the ball, and that's where most of the contact was, so I don't think that should be a foul call.
Johnson, however, did make the first free throw. And the second one is around and out, no good. Ball deflected out off of Adzic. It will stay or be Archbishop Mitty basketball, who trail by 8. Johnson checks out, and Hewitt returns. Here's Austin Kaus. Pounds the dribble, stutters into the front court. Guarded by Thomas. He'll bounce it to Wedlow. Wedlow pounding the dribble. Gets it over to Kaus. Kaus looking. His pass deflected, nearly stolen. On the drive, inside, Diaz had it blocked. Gets it back. The pass nearly stolen. Kaus pulls up. Now Diaz. Diaz pounding into the paint. The floater with the right hand off cross, no good. Rebound deflected in the corner. And it's saved to Wedlow. Wedlow pounding the dribble. Gets it over to Kaus. Kaus around the screen to his left. Holds the ball. Gets it over to Diaz. Back to Kaus, who pump fakes left wing. Kaus outside to Peterson. Swung around Diaz. Inside Hicks. Pounding the dribble. Double come. Outside Peterson to shoot.
Good
offense. And it's good.
Really good offense. Swing it around 2 or 3 times. You got 2 offensive rebounds. You feed it inside. You turn into the post. You draw 2 defenders, and you find 2 open shooters on the wing. One of those 2 was going to get a shot, and there was only 1 defender there. That was a really good offensive possession.
Left wing, Benedetti outside to Hewitt. Now Witt, right wing. Witt looks, swings it around to Thomas. Into the paint, floats one up, off bounds, no good, but a blocking foul is called. Now the Monarchs are unhappy. They thought it should have been a travel before the foul. 24-19, St. Francis leads with 1:49 left second quarter.
So one thing I've noticed is that in predictable plays, so unbroken plays, right? St. Francis has had typically in this game so far a pretty big advantage, right? Because they have size. You know, I think they're more athletic at most positions by a little bit. I think they have better all-around shooters. But what Mitty has taken advantage of, and the reason it's as close as it is that when the broken plays happen, Mitty has shown more fight in getting the offensive rebounds, you know, in scrambling to cut to the basket and get an open layup. So when those broken plays happen, I think that's been Mitty's key in staying as close as they have. Because in the sets, St. Francis has beat them pretty solidly.
But there's a great feed from Diaz to Hicks for the lay-in after Thomas made both free throws.
We got ourselves a game.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Only a 5-point game. Here's Witt, who crosses over. Shaken, bake. Outside to Adzic, who runs over a defender and makes it. No offensive foul called. Wow.
That can't be a no call. With all the ticky-tacks they've called so far, that cannot be a no call.
Yeah, something had to be. A foul, one player or the other. There's Wedlow, high post Diaz. Swings out to Kaus. Kaus inside to Diaz, who nearly traveled. And they're going to get the travel called on Diaz. So Lancers with the ball up 7. 59.4 seconds left. Tim Kennedy is giving an earful to one of the referees. After the last 2 calls, both went against his Monarchs. So plenty of difference between shot clock and game clock. Here's Hewitt left wing. Benedetti rotates to Thomas. Thomas right wing outside, pump faking Witt, lobs it inside, but first he traveled.
Yeah, that
was
right
a good call. Yeah,
that's the right call.
Good call. Witt's not sure about it, but it was a good call. So 45 seconds left. Second quarter, probably not enough time to get a 2-for-1 if you're Archbishop Mitty, so go for the first best look. I would love to have it be a 5 or 4 point game at halftime. They need a bucket here first to make that happen. Here's Kaus, near the timeline, gets an high post to Hicks. Hicks looks, surveys the defense, now dribbles, and then double team. Swung to Wedlow, pump fakes, steps inside the yard, gets it over to Hicks, drives, pump fake, goes up, missed it badly, rebound deflected to Wedlow. Wedlow backs it out with 18 seconds. Only 7 on the shot clock. Wedlow pump fakes. Diaz spinning, goes up, off glass, around and down. I thought the shot clock should have been reset, but it wasn't.
5, 4 seconds in the half.
Witt with 3, crosses over deep, 2, good at the horn.
Wow.
And a very competitive, good first half comes to a close.
What a finish.
So, back and forth we go in the second quarter. We'll step aside and go back with second half action right after this. It's St. Francis 30 and Archbishop Mitty 23. Welcome back here to St. Francis High School with Rhett Anderson. I am Andrew Sherry, and we are getting ready for second half action here. Should be a fun one. Lancers lead 30-23.
A really good first half. And so for both teams, there's kind of one key for each team. For Mitty, as I said at the end of the first half, their key was winning the broken plays, right? Now they're down on the scoreboard, but if they hadn't won those broken plays, you know, they'd be down by even more. For St. Francis, it's been their guard play. They've taken advantage of lanes that Mitty gives them from defensive lapses. Not to say that, you know, St. Francis is only doing well because Mitty gave it to them. Not at all. But their guard play has been really good so far. Case in point.
Yeah, spin and a hoop, I should say, from Noah Stapes makes it a 9-point lead. Mitty has never led. Lantern's largest lead was 10. It's at 9 right now.
Now, one thing I will say, on top of St. Francis' guard play being pretty good tonight, I think Hewitt's been mostly quiet, out of the mix, really. You know, he had a pretty nice dunk early, you know, was a little fired up, but since then he's been pretty quiet, had a few turnovers. Not playing terribly, but not being that dominant force we saw the last couple games.
So after the turnover, 3 in the key called on Wedlow. Here's the Lancers trying to make it their largest advantage of the game. Benedetti high post. Benedetti pounds the dribble, spins, and leaves it off. Here to Johnson, who will step back for a 3. Off the front rim, no good. Rebound deflected around, and Hewitt got it inside. A foul's called on the hold on Mike Diaz, his second foul.
And credit Hewitt with the rebound. It's a way to get in there, come out strong second half.
Yeah, it's looking to rebound. But they have other ways to beat you. That's what makes the St. Francis team so tough to beat, especially here at home. There's a kick ball in the inbound pass, and now Johnson will throw it in once more. Gets it into Stapes around a double stream for 3. Way short. Rebounded inside. Grabbed by Grigsby. Here comes the Monarchs on the attack. Who spins. High post. Feeds out Newman a corner 3. Way too strong. Rebounded by Stapes. Push ahead Benedetti. Tracks it down into Wedlow. Offensive foul on Giuseppe Benedetti. 6:43 left in the third.
Not sure if that should have been a charge call. I don't think he was set. No, he was definitely moving up and to the right. He was tracking Benedetti as Benedetti crossed, and that motion means he was not set. And if you're not set, you know, the rule is that you've got to be set and down to get that charge call.
Here's Wedlow inside to Diaz. A good catch. Spinning baseline goes up. That was blocked. Diaz gets it back. His reverse layup is good. A good effort bucket from Diaz.
That was really tough to do. He was hemmed in on one side by the baseline, on the other side by the backside of the backboard.
Here's on the cut, Thomas with the feed. Inside, Benedetti floats one up and in. So Benedetti scores it and pushes the lead back to 9, 34-25. Mitchell Newman guarded now by Logan Johnson, 21 in white. Bouncing it to Wedlow left wing, out top Diaz. Rotated, Newman on the attack all the way, no one cuts him off, and he lays it in. Lead back to 7.
It was an over closeout. Yeah. I think it was Benedetti who closed out on Newman on the wing. A was really high. Benedetti was high. Pretty easy travel call there. I think Benedetti was high on that closeout, and it was too close to Newman. So Newman's real small, first of all. He has that size leverage advantage on the wing. He's quicker, and he's like, you know, if you go all the way up to the guy, he just has to take one step around you, and he's past you.
So now after the turnover by the Lancers, a little token full court pressure, and Newman breaks it with the dribble pretty easily. Wedlow right wing. Diaz swings it over to Newman. Newman pounding the dribble outside. An open three for Scott. Back iron miss. Could not have been more wide open. And over the back goes Grimsby to knock it out.
Really good play. It was a strong double screen on the block. And the two screeners did their job really well. And the guy coming off the screen, the eventual shooter, he rubs shoulders with the screen. If you don't rub shoulders, it's a lot easier to get through that screen. You got to have that contact, and then you can slip this, or you can play the screen a number of different ways, but you got to have that contact first. And that's what got him open.
That three will not count. There's a foul on the drive called on Elijah Wedlow. So to inbound will be the Lancers. Witt. The trigger man gets it in high post to Hewitt. Hewitt pounding the dribble, spins on Diaz. His floater in the paint, back iron miss. Good defense by Diaz. Newman will clear. Smallest man on the court. Hands off to Wedlow, open for three. Good for Elijah Wedlow. Lead to 4. How is this happening? Thomas around a screen. He'll float one up off glass, no good. Long rebound to Hewitt. Floats one up again, no good. Hewitt gets it back. Inside, will dunk it with 2 hands.
Well, Mitty didn't win that broken play. You thought they did a couple times with a couple loose balls. Not that one.
Newman pounding the dribble near the logo. Over to Wedlow. That was a big 2 points to give up on the third opportunity. Here's Diaz in the paint. Floats one up and in down low right. Over Hewitt. We have a good big man battle going down low, folks. Hewitt against Diaz.
And Diaz very undersized.
Hewitt, mano-y-mano. Gets it out, Stapes, an NBA three. That's off the back rim, no good. We have a foul on the floor on Archbishop Mitty as 2 players went tumbling to the court. It'll be on Wedlow again. Yeah, you see just too many opportunities for St. Francis. Give a team like 3 opportunities more often than not they're going to convert.
So let me tell you something. Hewitt, the guy who just dunked it, is listed as 6'10". Last game, he was listed as 6'9". And he does not look like 6'10" or 6'9". He's a big guy, biggest guy on the court, pretty athletic. But I haven't stood next to him, so I'm not sure. But I'd be very surprised if he's a solid 6'9" or 6'10".
Certainly is a very effective player, though not having one of his best games here tonight for the senior who will be playing for Jim Less at UC Davis in next winter. Witt will inbound, good feed to Hewitt. Hewitt pounding the dribble, into the paint, jump hook with the left hand, no good, rebounded by Diaz. And it'll clear from the Monarchs, halfway gone here in the third quarter.
Good fundamental post defense. You stay down, you interrupt the shot, you don't try to block it, and then you box out and get the board.
Peterson left wing, outside to Scott. Scott on the dribble, no one cuts him off, it'll lay it in. All of a sudden, a 2-point game. Stapes into the front court. Now we see the Lancers with some adversity as there's a hand check on Riley Grigsby.
I tell you, for the physicality of this game, that shouldn't be a call.
Well, you'll see, here's how they cut the deficit in half. Scott, a drive, beats the initial man, but there was a poor job of help from the Lancer. No one cut him off. You had tried at the last minute, but by then it was way too late. And all of a sudden, it's a 36-34 ball game. An 11-6 run by the Monarchs to open up this quarter. Witt on the drive gets cut off. He'll reset and call play from near the center circle. Witt pounding the dribble around a Hewitt screen and a double screen. Hands off, Benedetti, an open three. Good.
Pretty good shot. Had his feet set, had time.
Good shot from Benedetti. Scott into the front court. Pounding the dribble. Back to the basket, Diaz. Into the paint. Floats one up with the left hand, no good. Rebound deflected around, long one to Kaus.
Another broken play that Mitty won.
And a good feed inside to Hicks, who got it to go, and he was fouled.
Wow, what are the odds of that? Low, I'll tell you, very low.
That was a near circus shot for Matt Hicks, and he'll go to the line and try to complete the three-point play. It's a great feed from Peterson to Diaz, and that's just great entry. If you can't get it in yourself, just rotate the ball to find a man with better angle, and that's a great entry pass.
So let me tell you something. Hicks did not mean to make that. He got lucky, and then he gets hyped, and everyone's charged up. He didn't mean to make that. What he did mean to do was get as close as he could and give himself a chance. And that was a great effort.
But again, the Monarchs leaving points at the line. A missed free throw, and here's Johnson on the attack, no good. Benedetti tips the rebound to himself. Step back three, too strong, rebounded by Peterson, and all of a sudden the Monarchs can tie with a three. In the front court goes Koss. Koss around the screen to his right. Gets it over to Peterson, right wing. Over to Koss, 2:20 and counting left, third quarter. High post, Hicks. Hicks outside, pump faking Diaz, who will spin in the paint. Over on double team, floater's gone in the baseline, and again Kennedy screaming for a foul. 1 point game, 2 minutes to go, third quarter.
And Diaz was trying to bait Benedetti into the foul by jumping up, and Benedetti did jump. If Diaz had gone into him, or even gone straight up, he would have had that foul, but he sort of floated off to the side.
High post, here's Adjett. Drives, floats it over, double team, good, and a foul. And it's 41-38 Lancers. Kennedy not thinking it was being called both ways. High post, great drive by Adjett, a pretty good cutoff. Ticky-tack foul called, and Adjett a chance to complete a three-point play. I tell you, no matter what the referees are calling in this game, one of the coaches is getting upset over the call. And seemingly can't get anything right.
It's the worst job in the gym, man. Nobody likes you.
Yeah, definitely true. I will say, for the most part, they've done an outstanding job officiating this game. Right winger Scott, 4-point lead now for the Lancers after the three-point play. Koss over the pass, stolen by Stapes. And layup no good, but he got fouled. So that dunk by Adjett will not count, and Stapes will be at the line to shoot two. Great job of playing the passing line now by Stapes, and after he got it, definitely a foul on the layup attempt.
Let me correct one thing you said there. That was no dunk.
Yeah.
He was hanging on the rim and then grabbed the ball and put it down. Student section went nuts, but that not quite what it seemed. Still, though, it's a good follow.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what you want to see, right?
If nothing else, it got the student section into this game. So they needed another reason to. Stapes misfires on the first free throw. Wedlow returns, replacing Michael Scott for the Monarchs, giving them great minutes tonight.
See, I'm wondering why Hewitt isn't down on the block rebounding.
I don't know.
Stapes,
yeah, that was interesting. Maybe they wanted back for transition defense, but a rare couple of misses by Stapes. Koss into the front court. They still trail by 4 around the screen.
See that mismatch? So Hewitt was out there for a second. Now Hewitt's out there again. There's an inside mismatch somewhere.
As a three is put up and in by Mike Diaz. You don't expect him to do that. Came in shooting 26% from out there. And Witt pounding the dribble right way. Round the screen, lead back to 1, behind the back pass. Stapes an open three, short, rebounded by Hicks. All of a sudden the Monarchs can take the lead. Wedlow, guarded by Johnson, into the front court. Stops, foul line jumper, good! Monarchs have their first lead of the game. The Mitty contingent on their feet. About a 5-second difference shot of game clock. Stapes, high post, spins into the paint, floats one up, off glass, no good. Rebounded by Peterson, who's really traveled. And what do we have? A foul on St. Francis. So out of bounds to the Monarchs with 23.7 seconds left, and they get old for the final shot.
Wow.
Wedlow on the attack. You'll see Johnson playing too aggressively, and then no one rotates to put a hand in his face, and their best shooter knocks one down. I was saying on the last possession, you don't expect Diaz to make a three. You do expect Wedlow to make that shot if there's no one in his face.
Yeah, Diaz shooting threes probably wasn't in the scouting report.
Cows in the front court gets doubled. His pass deflected. Tipped ahead. Wick to the basket, lays it in. And a bad turnover there. Now they have to hurry with 9 seconds. St. Francis back up a point. 6 seconds. Peterson at 5. Takes a deep 3. Short. Rebound underneath. It comes to Stapes. And we have reached the end of the third quarter.
We have ourselves a ball game is what we have.
Yeah, stay tuned, folks. That third quarter was won by Mitty, 20-14. And after 3, it's 44-43 St. Francis. Welcome back here for an exciting fourth quarter. St. Francis up a point, 44-43. The Monarchs with the basketball to begin the fourth. Cows dribbling near half court. Gets it over to Wedlow. A zone now from St. Francis. Diaz spins. Baseline hook off glass and good. And Monarchs back in front.
I didn't think I'd say this, but Diaz is killing Hewitt this last quarter or two.
Certainly, and even the zone didn't slow him down. They went zone for the first time all game. And here's Thomas on the stutter over a double team. Gets blocked. Offensive foul. What defense by the Monarchs.
Wow.
You'll see this is a great rotation. And then Thomas trying to do a little too much. Drove into double team and could have passed.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good position. It's about as good as you could ask for, short of perfection. I think that was a charge.
Now a little man-to-man full court pressure. Inbound from Peterson to Cows. So now with this adversity, they've not faced it a lot in league play of the Lancers. How will they deal with it? Cows, great pass to Wedlow. Inside Hicks. Peterson into the paint, floats one up, and good! Kyle Peterson has given Archbishop Mitty their largest lead of the game at 3.
And these guards keep getting the lanes. I'm surprised St. Francis really hasn't changed the way they're playing defense on the wing.
There's Johnson drives, floats one up off glass, no good, but he got fouled by Austin Kaus. And so Johnson will be at the line to shoot 2. See a great straight line drive here coming up by Johnson off the wing pass. Saw the defender Kaus out of position and attacked immediately.
That's good recognition. Really good recognition.
Lefty makes the first, 47-45. Free throw advantage in this game certainly in favor of the Lancers, which in all these close games at every level of basketball are really critical in close games. Johnson makes both. 1-point game again. Inbound to Kaus against a trapping Bulgar pressure. They nearly throw it away. Whitlow steals it. A 2-on-1. Good pass to Hicks who pump fakes. Goes up. Scores it and a foul. What a turn of events. It looked like it was going to be a steal for the Lancers, but off the re-steal by Wedlow, a great 2-on-1 break. Forced the defender to come help him. And then a great double pass and a great pump fake by Hicks. All right. This is to give Archbishop Mitty their largest lead of the game. I don't know what the referee is holding play for. He is having a long conversation with one of the coaches over there on the Monarch staff. The free throw. Can they actually convert one of these three-point plays? They've had so many opportunities. Haven't converted one yet, but there is one. And it's a 50-46 lead for Archbishop Mitty. Johnson over right wing to Hewitt. Stapes around a couple screens. Pulls up for the deep 2. Good for Noah Stapes. Cuts the lead to 2. Inbound goes to Hicks. Wedlow. Now Kaus. Pounding the dribble into the front court. Guarded by Johnson. Wedlow. High post. Here's Diaz. Diaz in the paint. Floats one up off glass. Around it down.
Diaz and Hicks. That's been the key to the second half.
Yeah, they've really used their size, their bulk down low effectively. Here's Johnson. Over to Stapes. Pump fakes on the 3. High post, here's Johnson who attacks, floats one up and under short. Rebound deflected around, comes to Johnson. Outside Stapes, thought about a deep 3. Drives, floats one up, and lobs it actually to Hewitt who lays it in. Timeout St. Francis quickly, off the mid bucket with 5:48 left, 2-point game. Great hustle by Johnson. That should never happen if you're Mitty. 2 players against 1, and the one comes away with it, leads to an open bucket.
So the reason Mitty's dominated the fourth quarter so far and, most of the third quarter is the inside play of Hicks and Diaz. Now, St. Francis is guarding them with a combination of Stapes, Benedetti, and Hewitt. Well, Hewitt's the constant, and then Benedetti and Stapes are kind of in and out guarding the 4. And Diaz and Hicks are just outplaying them in the post just every time. And I can hardly hear.
Yeah, no.
How about you?
This place is bonkers tonight. So with 55:48 left fourth quarter, it's 52-50 Monarchs. Monarchs led by 4 a moment ago. That was their largest lead of the game. The Lancers led by as many as 10 back in the first half. It was a 7-point game, Lancers advantage at halftime. This second half is completely turned around because Archbishop Mitty has found the inside game, and so far St. Francis has not had an answer for it. And I think that's why Mike Motillo called this last time out for the Lancers. Try to set up some defense, try to set up a defense that will prevent the inside play, because no matter whether they go man-to-man or zone, they haven't stopped it. So let's see what happens. They're coming out with full court pressure. Looks like a 2.
They're going small.
2-1. Almost
They're
a man
going small. We'll see if they can take advantage of so they got Hicks in there, Diaz in there. The next biggest guy for St. Francis is Stapes, who's not big at all. He's just tall. Mitty should be taking advantage of it, but St. Francis looks like they're going to try to play small ball.
Yeah, interesting tactic here. Hicks over to Kous, who drives the baseline, pump fake, goes up and scores it down the left.
And then the smallest guy on the court lays it up.
Yeah, go figure. 54-50 Monarchs. Round of screen, here's Thomas. He had it poked away. And Johnson lays it up and in with a foul.
Yeah, heads up play, Johnson right there. Talking about broken plays, that was St. Francis all the way. And you can't plan that, right? Yeah. Defender gets a hand in there, the ball's loose. There's a scrum, you got to get it. And at that point, it sort of turns into a one-man game. It's whoever puts forth the most effort or gets themselves in the right place at the right time.
There's been a lot of that in this game. Johnson completes the 3-point play, and it's a 1-point game.
And if you notice, their offense was very spread. It was 5 out last time for St. Francis. They didn't get a chance to run it past a couple of passes, but I want to see what they do the next time down.
So 5 minutes left in regulation. Mitty leads by a point. Kous dribbling. High post, here's Wedlow. Pounding the dribble. Wedlow bouncing into Peterson right wing, hounded by Stapes. Peterson stops, and we have a what?
A 5-second call, but he was way off of him.
Interesting call.
He was about 2 arms length off the ball handler.
Yeah, usually you have to be within arm's length for the timer to start.
So A, you got to be within arm's length. B, there can't be any sort of, I'm not sure how they technically refer to it, but there can't be a change in how the ball handler has the ball. So if he's holding it and the guy's with him at arm's length for 4 seconds, and then he starts dribbling, he'll get another 4 seconds. And then he picks it up, he'll get another 4 seconds.
Yeah. So a bit of a break for the Lancers. Benedetti gets pumped, no push, no call. Here's Johnson. He spins in the paint, goes up and gets hacked. Block was clean, and Kennedy is irate.
The block was clean, but the body before it was not. I believe the block came from, so the foul's going to be on 12 here, right there. The block's clean, but it came before.
Yeah, so they call a foul on Austin Kous. But I've never seen Tim Kennedy, head coach of the Monarchs, be that upset over a call, a series of calls. Johnson misfires on the first free throw.
Well, yeah, but he's the coach. It's his job.
Yeah, that's true. Always lobbying. Second free throw is good. So Johnson splits the pair, and we're tied at 54.
4.5 minutes. Doesn't get better.
Yeah, 4:33. Clock. Hicks checks out. Checking in for the first time, or returning to the line, I should say, is Riley Grigsby. Here's Wedlow into the front court.
Bigsby a little smaller than Hicks. So inside, which has been the key in the fourth, is going to be Diaz and Grigsby.
As Diaz had it poked away, stolen by Stapes. They attack him, the Lancers. Benedetti.
So here's St. Francis, 5 out. Yep.
And the attack, Witt scores down low right.
Okay, so that's what the coach is thinking. They're trying to spread it out and take advantage of their size, or rather their length and their speed on the wings. They may not have size down low, but St. Francis does have size in the guard positions, and that's what they're doing. They take Hewitt out of the game. They take anyone big out of the game. They spread open the whole court, and they try to make bigger lanes. Because otherwise, look, see, if they weren't going 5 out, Diaz would have been there to block that shot, or Hicks if he was in the game. But St. Francis, you know, the coach realizes, okay, they're beating us down low. We have to beat them where we have an advantage, which is on the wing.
Exactly. And so that gave St. Francis a lead of 56-54, with Mitty calling the timeout, another full timeout. So each team now left with 2 timeouts for the duration of the game. And 3:58 left in regulation. This is coming down right to the wire. It should be interesting to see what game plan Mitty comes up with out of this timeout.
You know, I always thought high school games went by so fast until they don't.
Yeah, yeah. Till the game's close, and then there's a lot of timeouts. But as for the Monarchs, they've been pretty much controlling from the entire game, from halfway into the third quarter till now.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then St. Francis goes on a little mini 6-0 run. Suddenly they're down 2, and now they have to regroup on the road. So let's see what they come up with.
Basketball's a game of runs. It's very rare that you see a lead increase constantly over time throughout the game. Game of runs.
Yeah, rarely do you ever see like 25, 30 lead changes in a game. I mean, that's very rare. Inbound goes to Wedlock. He will drive baseline and get cut off. Side to Kaus. Kaus holding the ball near the center circle. High post, here's Grigsby. Grigsby into the paint, spins. Floats one up short, rebounded by Adams. Not a good possession out of the timeout.
Okay, watch St. Francis' offense. They're all outside, and they're all going to mostly stay out there except for cuts through the key. See 2 high guard screens. Witt's open. He's going to try to probe. Trying to find shooters. Player screens, off-ball screens. I guarantee you in the huddle they're being told to get out of the key.
Here's Witt around the screen. Let's see what they do late clock situation. 5 to shoot. Witt steps back. Pulls up for a 3, way short. Rebounded underneath. Grigsby fights with it with Johnson. Diaz has it. Benedetti runs into him like bumper cars. And Kaus with it. Over to Scott, left corner. 3 minutes left. Scott into the paint. And he throws it away. Trying to feed Hicks down low and just let him too far.
So if you're trying to feed that big man pass, you wanna spin it. So when you throw it down, it bounces into the man, but outside of the defender's hand, kind of bends. Scott just put it straight. And at that time, Bigsby was sealing and backing down.
Benedetti, great feed to Witt on the back cut. Lays it up and in. No, they're saying offensive foul. It was good, but they're going to wave off the basket because of an offensive foul. Great job by Grigsby.
And I think I'll agree with that. Let me see here. My first reaction is to agree with it. Yeah, he kind of backed off of it at the last second, but it was in position and he was there first. I'm pretty sure that would be a call for most officials, a charge for most officials.
Certainly looks like a good call there. Yeah, against full court pressure. Peterson inbounds to Grigsby, poked away. Tapes tried to save it, but he was out of bounds.
Yeah, that's the right call. I was right above it here.
So with 2:42 left, fourth quarter, still St. Francis 56, Archbishop Mitty 54. Here's the inbound pass forthcoming from Peterson. Lobs it into Diaz. Good catch. Oh, spin. Pound the dribble. Guard by Benedetti, and we have a blocking foul on Benedetti. Just kind of rode him all the way. Never wanted to get off the bus.
So St. Francis so it's Benedetti. I didn't see who was coming to trap, but they were trying to trap in that near corner in the front court. And that's what you want. You want Diaz, who's not a ball handler, or Bigsby or Hicks, You want them bringing the ball, and just as soon as they cross half court, then you trap.
So it will be a 1-on-1 situation here for Diaz. 17th foul on St. Francis. And the free throw is rounded out. could have tied the game. Instead, they're still trailing by 2. Steve the rebound and hands off to Johnson. Witt right wing. Witt high post. Benedetti uncovered for 3. Good for Giuseppe Benedetti.
Biggest shot of the game so far.
The lead extends to 5. A 9-0 run for the Lancers. Kaus near the circle. Bounces it to Peterson, who drives baseline, pulls off floater. It's gone with a foul. And he has a chance to make it a 2-point game.
Wow.
With 2:05 left. Just a great attack here by Peterson. And got the body and floated it in.
Call's pretty late, if I saw it right.
It didn't look like there was a lot of body contact, though. I think they got it right. So there's Peterson to try to convert the 3-point play, and he does. So 59-57. See how the final 2 minutes plays out in a 2-point game. Outside Witt, right way. Witt holds. Looking. Jab step. Drives. Steps back. Witt wants to reset. Hands off to Benedetti. Way outside. Over Dajic. Now Johnson in the corner. His pass deflected. Oh, and they're going to call a foul on Austin Krause. That looked like pretty good defense. Ticky-tack. Let's see here.
Should be tough to see from this angle, but
yeah, that
maybe,
just looked like good defense.
I don't know. Hard to tell.
Yeah. Looked like he just got in the passing lane stolen, and this could be a big foul call because instead of 2 points that Archbishop Mitty almost certainly would have had with the fast break opportunity.
Now, I'm surprised that came as a foul because the official who called that had the same view that we did on that replay down from the baseline.
It was double bonus activity, so no rebound there. As the first free throw was missed by Witt, and a timeout called by St. Francis. So now, after the 30-second timeout is up, they'll be left with only 1 full.
Well, you got to credit the St. Francis coaching staff for making that, significant adjustment in the fourth quarter, is going small ball and opening up the lanes. I mean, that's the reason there that they've been on this run and they've taken the lead here. Is opening up the driving lanes, making the defenders overcommit, which gets you past them on your hip, and then taking the bigs out of the game. And another advantage, in addition to, opening up the lanes from the wings, is it makes the bigs run more and gets them more tired. And you'll see that Mitty took out Hicks about a minute or two after St. Francis went small ball because, Hicks is not, he runs the court, but he's not quick, he's spry, and he's gotten tired over the course of the game. So St. Francis going small has been the key to their comeback here.
So minute 43 left, fourth quarter. And the Monarchs, who trail by 2, Witt will have one more free throw for St. Francis. And the bucket's good, or the free throw, I should say. So it's a 3-point game.
Well, you can't ask for a better game. One possession with a minute and a half left or so.
So into the front court goes Scott. One possession game, as you said. Scott will pound it, and now Tim Kennedy didn't like what he saw offensively, so he will use a timeout.
Yeah, it's a good call.
And be left with 1. So minute 32 left, fourth quarter. It is St. Francis in front, 16-57. Mitty will have the ball. And what should we look for offensively now for the Monarchs out of this timeout?
What would I expect if I were St. Francis in the huddle right now for defense, if they are in fact drawing up defense? I would expect them to come back inside. I would expect them to come back inside, and I would expect them to be crashing every single rebound because they've been getting those all game long. I'm not sure if they're going to put Hicks in. Hicks looks like he's kind of on the outside of the huddle. We'll see. Anyways, they should have Bigsby and Diaz in, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go to them inside. Hicks is going to sit. Diaz stays. Bigsby stays. And the Lancers stay small, really small. So if I'm the Lancers on defense, I'm looking for Mitty to go inside in some way. Maybe not posting up, but trying to get a 2.
So under a minute and a half to play in regulation. 60-57. Inbound feed to Diaz, and he steps on the line. Turnover Mitty at a critical juncture.
That's exactly what it was. It was a drawn-up play to get Diaz open, and he was there, but just a split second too late.
So a minute 18 and counting left. Johnson with it, gets it over to Stapes. Big possession here. Witt on the feet.
Interesting, Witt.
Yeah. Oh, what a pass to Johnson, who pump fakes, goes up, missed it. Rebound by Koss, a big miss there.
Both teams in the bonus. Under a minute. Another timeout.
And another timeout here.
It's a good call.
And a good call. So this is the final timeout for Mitty.
So you're going to see Johnson here. He's going to hesitate right there. Should have gone straight up. He had a split second.
Yeah, that was a great move.
And that pump fake, which they teach you to, pump fake, get the defender off your feet. But there's times when you don't want to do that. You only have a split second. The help is coming. Two help defenders are coming, and you got to go up. It's a more difficult shot, but it's a little bit more open.
So 57.7 seconds left, fourth quarter. It's 60-57, favor of St. Francis. So now there's plenty of time to run some offense, get a bucket, and still not have to foul, even if it's only a 2. So unless a 3 is wide open, I think it would be prudent of them to keep with their current game plan, trying to get the ball inside either Diaz or Hicks, let them go to work, cut the lead to 1, and then just play defense without fouling and go for the win at the end, assuming you get a stop.
I think there's a couple things to consider. I think I think it will be wise to try to go inside again and go for 2, because I do think there's plenty of time to get the ball back. However, that requires you to play defense on this end and get a stop. And Mitty has not done that for the last 8 minutes. They just, they just really haven't been able to stop that spread offense.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Good adjustment by the head coach of St. Francis.
And
so
Diaz will bring it in. Interesting.
So
okay, Diaz and Bigby too high. Double down screens. They're going to shooter.
Kyles over to Peterson. 48 seconds left. Now there's Scott left wing. Scott outside, Grigsby for the tie, and rattled home. We're tied at 60, 39 seconds left.
Well, not only was I wrong, the three-pointer came from Grigsby. Didn't see that coming.
There's Witt over to Johnson. Johnson pounding the dribble. They're in the circle. They'll play for maybe the last look. There's about a 3-second difference. We're tied at 60. Johnson pounding the dribble. They do have a timeout left if they want to use it.
I like that Witt has the ball. He's a good handler.
Went to Stapes. 5 to shoot. Good feed inside to Johnson, who lays it in. 5 seconds left. Timeout, Mitty. This is their last.
A great
wow,
cut.
what a play and what a feed to Johnson.
They beat them with what they've been beating them the whole fourth quarter. The wide open curls and cuts and flares. All these guard dives coming into the key. And again, so here comes Johnson. He's going to come around the screen off Witt. It's a good curl. Now Diaz, you saw Diaz on the far side of the key. The reason he was over there is because the Lancers were spread. Mitty hasn't figured out how to respond to that.
So out of this timeout, the Lancers will be left with 1. Mitty out of timeout. So now, if they pick up full court pressure, it's important that Mitty gets the ball in because they don't have another timeout to use.
Yeah, I was going to say if they had one, what they should do is inbound it to half court, immediately call their last timeout, and then it's like, quote, advancing the ball.
Yeah.
But they don't. They'll have to go the full court in 6 seconds and down by 2. Now, 6 seconds is a lot of time. I mean, just think about it in your head.
Yeah.
As if you're running full speed from baseline to baseline, 3, 4 seconds, maybe 5. That's a lot of time. Now, so when they're teaching you to guard this play, what they teach you in the near court is that you have to stop the guard who's coming to get the ball. Because what that guard is going to want to do is he's going to want to catch the ball going vertically, so not from sideline to sideline. He wants to catch it already on the way when he's running. That cuts a lot of time off of how long it takes him to get down the court. So for St. Francis, what they want to do is they want to get up in the ball handler's, or not the ball handler, but the guy who's going to receive the ball. You get up in his jersey and you stop him, and you stop his momentum. That makes him, A, stop, and then B, have to start again, which is going to take time off the clock. And time is the whole name of the game here. So from Mitty's perspective, They want to get the ball going north-south on the inbound, and what St. Francis wants to do is block that and keep him from getting ahead of steam.
So out of this timeout from St. Francis, it'll be Archbishop Mitty ball. It's not like the NBA, so they can't advance it. They have to go full length of the court.
But it looks like they're not pressuring.
Yeah.
It looks like they're gonna let the ball in.
And the inbound goes to Cows. Let's see, final 4 seconds. Here's Diaz, who nearly traveled. Cows half court for the win. No good. Ball game over. St. Francis wins 62-60 in a thriller.
Wow, that was amazing. That was an amazing game, start to finish.
Yeah, it was back and forth. Couldn't have asked for a better one. Key to this one, St. Francis ends it on an 11-6 run.
So you see St. Francis, they were taking a bend but don't break approach. They weren't pressuring the ball, only a little bit, token pressure. And then once the ball handler got it, Witt was there to stop him from getting ahead of steam going up court.
Yeah, this was a fantastic game, back and forth. Neither team deserved to lose it. Unfortunately, Mitty had to lose it. And so now St. Francis 7-0. 3-game lead over Mitty, a game-and-a-half lead over Sarah.
I hope they meet in the playoffs. That'll be fun to watch.
That would be fantastic. Glad you guys could be join us for this one. It was a fantastic basketball game. The producer and director for tonight's game was Bobby Chastain. On cameras, Tim Erskine, Ted Melky, Atif Hussein, and Renee Mendoza. And a special thanks to KMVT for allowing us to do this broadcast. Now for Red Anderson, I'm Anders Fury, saying so long from St. Francis High School. I hope you guys had as much fun as we did. Once again, your final score, Lancer 62, Monarchs 60.